It is indeed a beautiful Sunday, and I must say I am glad to be here. I don't know about you, but I am glad to be here. Now, from Friday evening through yesterday and this morning, we've had fellowship. We've had a lot of teachings. We've learned a lot from our elders. We've socialized. And a meeting like this does not come often. So like I said, it is indeed a privilege for me to be standing here right now, sharing the Word of God with you. Let me start by thanking all of us for showing up. To our brothers and sisters who came from far and near, we did not expect to see these numbers, but you showed up. So God bless you all. At the end of the whole discussion, we would come and properly acknowledge all of us and then thank all of us for coming. The theme for this year's lectureship is remembering your Creator in the 21st century. The dilemma of the Christian youth. That has been the theme for our youth lectureship this year. Now, this morning I'm about to speak to you on the topic, remembering the Creator, the dilemma of the Christian youth. Like I said earlier, we have heard a lot. Yesterday especially, there was a lot of teachings from Can We Trust the Bible, down to Before I Say I Do, down to the Church of Christ today, the role of the Christian youth. Well, I believe that we have learned so much, and somebody might say, well, if you've learned so much, why do we have to listen to more? There is a great saying in our Akan language that says that what was it? So this is an opportunity for you to learn some of these wise sayings. Say all that means is that as long as we are human beings, we need to still listen because we are fallen, we can make mistakes. And so we still have to keep listening to the Word of God that is reaching all the things that we need for life and godliness. So once again, God bless you all for being here today. In the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter number 4, verse number 1, the Bible says, remember now your Creator in the days of your youth, before the difficult days come, and the years draw near, when you say, I have no pleasure in them. Remember now your Creator in the days of your youth, before the difficult days come, and the years draw near when you say, I have no pleasure in them. This is one of the Bible passages that a lot of people know. You know, it's a common Bible passage. We've had people making songs out of this very, very important passage. So I'm not sure any of us here is not familiar with this very, very important passage. I want us to understand that the world we see today is fast changing. Years away, they put them recanted. Things are not the same anymore. Things are not the same anymore. Things that were seen as abominable, these were things that we don't talk about, we don't do. These were things that we don't discuss on the dining table. But today, we have people who are fighting for them. Congress and the Senate are passing a lot of laws about things that years before now, we will not even mention them. We won't even talk about it. So, our world is changing. Things are not the same anymore. So, the youth of yesteryears and the challenges they face are not the same as the youth of today and the challenges we face. The challenges for today's world is a lot. The world is fast changing. Now, the earlier we admit that the world is fast changing, the better for us. The Bible will say, we are still too better now. And that's why I am a 6 year. And that's why I have to have a year at the Festivias to bring a better. The Christian youth is always presented with choices. The Christian youth is challenged to make decisions, choices, every single day. Now, one of the challenges which I see as a major challenge that every Christian youth is faced to make is the decision to completely submit to God or the world. That is a decision every Christian youth is supposed to make. And we are always at that point, at that junction, at that crossroad, where we feel a lot of confusion going on in our lives. Whether to submit to God completely or just follow what everybody else is doing. We go to school, we have friends in school, some of them don't even believe in God. Some of them don't believe in God the way we do. Some of them don't even believe that the Bible is the Word of God. Now these are friends that we mingle with, we speak to all the time, we walk around with. We have family members who don't believe in God, who don't, live for God, don't submit to God. So we have the challenge. We have that decision to make. But how are we making these decisions? That is a problem. Somebody has said that the Church of Christ, as we see it today, will not be the same in 10 years to come. Well, I'm seeing signs already. It is Sunday morning. Now, if you go to our congregation, the Church of Christ congregations here in the United States, especially our white friends, when you go to your congregations right now, you realize that it is just the old men and women who are just sitting to listen to the sermon. The young people are no more interested in the church. So the question is, when the old ones are gone, what happens to the church? Dead. Some churches of Christ are selling their church auditoriums because they don't have the numbers to make the financial arrangement they need to make for payment or whatever they need to do. They don't have the financial strength because they don't have the numbers. In 10 years' time, what will be of this lost church? Brothers and sisters, this is the Church of Christ. The one true church the Bible speaks about. Now Jesus Christ came and died a shameful death because of this church. Some of you have watched Passion of Christ. How many of you have watched Passion of Christ? The movie, right? I've watched it too. Now anytime I watch it, I feel so emotional and I want to cry. Let me happen to you too. But that shameful death of the Savior Christ happened because this church needed to be purchased. He didn't purchase this church with something perishable. He purchased this church with his own blood. This is the Church of Christ. The Church of Christ is the pillar and the ground of the truth. The world can only know the truth if we choose to tell them. Our responsibility. It is our work. But where are we? Where are our youth? Because when the old ones leave the scene, what happens to the church? Brothers and sisters, it is a decision we need to make. And it should be a conscious one. And so I will entreat all the preachers here, all the leaders here. It is about time we took a second look at our youth. We need to help them. I was listening to the discussion yesterday, the panel discussion, and all the questions that were coming. And I was marveled. Because I listen to a lot of things. I got to understand a lot of things that, like, okay. Let's step back. And then take a look at a lot of things. We need to do that. We need to reconnect with our youth. They need it. If we don't do that, if you choose not to do that, the church will not see the next 10, the next 20 years. Because all the old ones will be gone. What will happen to the church? Probably begin to sell our buildings. Because we didn't have the money to pay for our mortgages, our rent, our bills, among other things. So, Christian youth, we are faced every day with a challenge. We are faced with a decision to follow God completely or follow what the world is doing. Now, which one of these decisions are you making? Right from the days of Adam and Eve, people have been asking very important questions about human beings. Now, the questions that people have been asking, right from time immemorial, probably been asking that question too, are questions that includes, where did we as people come from? Where did we come from? Where did we come from? People have answers to these questions, and sometimes when you listen to the answers that some people give to, answer these questions, it will surprise you. But it is a question, a legitimate question that people have been asking. Where do we come from? How do we get here? The next question is, why are we here? What is our purpose? Why are we here on earth? Where do we come from? Why are we here? What purpose do we serve? And where do we go when life on earth is done? Where do we come from? Why are we here? What purpose do we serve? Where do we go when life on earth is done? And these are questions that people have been asking. Well, let me tell you this. Your response to this question will determine how you treat life. The response you give to this very important question or questions will determine how you see life. Now, some people have tried to answer these questions. Philosophers have tried their best. Among these philosophers is a man called William Shakespeare. If you are into books and you have to read, probably you have come across the works of William Shakespeare. Now, this is what he said, out of his philosophical mind. He said, human beings are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is surrounded with a sleep. Now, William Shakespeare is saying, life is meaningless. Life is just like a dream. Just like you sleep and you dream about something and you wake up and it's not happening. Somebody will dream he's holding a lot of money and then they wake up and there is no money. Have you had a dream before? You have a lot of money, wake up, no money. The feeling is really bad. Like, you want to sleep again. When that happens, you want to sleep again to, reconnect to that dream. But that doesn't work that way. Okay, so William Shakespeare is saying that our life is just like a dream. It will just go, and just go off, and that's it. So just like dreams happen, so is our life. What do you think about life? What is our life? Where did we come from? Why are we here? What purpose do we serve? Where do we go after here? The philosopher saying that our life is but a dream. Don't stress yourself. Don't do anything. There's no supreme being God who is in charge of the universe that we need to submit to. Life is just like a dream. Do what you can, leave what you cannot do, and keep walking. When you die, you go to the ground. That's it. Well, scientists have also spoken. And among these scientists is a man called Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin is a great man. If you are in the sciences, especially biology, you have read the books or the materials or works of Charles Darwin. Now, he is one of those who think that we as human beings, beautiful city here, came from apes. Okay? He believes in the theory of evolution. He believes that there's no God that created human beings, but there were other things that came together, and at a point there was an ape, and the ape evolved little by little, and then he became a human being. That is the theory of Charles Darwin, among some other people. Now he's saying that human beings are just like animals with no purpose. We are Ghanaians. In the Ghanaian setting, if you have a chicken or you have a hen in your house, you keep feeding it, you keep feeding it, you keep feeding it. The idea is when it is Christmas, you just kill it and then, use it as meat. So animals are just there, not knowing what happens around them, and when their owners decide to sell them, that's it. If their owners decide to kill them, slaughter them, that's it. So that's human beings. This is how some scientists define life. Life is as a result of evolution. And my youth, I know some of these things are being taught in our schools, that we evolved from animals. Well, I don't know, if your grandmother is an ape, you should keep it for yourself. My grandmother is not an ape. I didn't come from no ape. They believe in a theory called the Big Bang Theory. And they believe that at some point in time, which they cannot calculate, some particles or molecules came together and it formed some big egg. And that egg just went off. It blew off. And out of it we got all these things we see in the world. And they kept evolving. Yesterday, my little girl was asking me a question. Well, I was about to enter here. He was asking me, Daddy, a chicken and an egg, which one came first? Have you ever had that question before? Okay. It is a question. And people who believe in evolution believe that, well, let me ask you first. The chicken and the egg, which one do you think came first? Which one came first? The chicken or the egg? Huh? Let me see, chicken. Chicken or the egg, which one came first? Chicken. There are big debates. There are big debates on which one came first, chicken or egg. Those who believe in evolution believe that the egg came first. The egg came first. And the egg went out, it blew off, and out of the egg came all the things you see. They believe in the Big Bang Theory. They believe that we came from apes, from monkeys. That is not true. God created us in His own image. God created all the animals we see. So a chicken was created by God. And the chicken laid the egg so it can reproduce. The egg didn't come first. That is a theory of evolution. Those who believe in evolution. So Charles Darwin says that human beings are basically animals biologically, and we have no purpose. So just go through life, do whatever you want to do what makes you happy, don't care about nobody, and you'll be fine. When you die, you just go to the ground. Nobody cares. But Charles Darwin was wrong. He was very wrong, and most of us believe in that theory. So we go through life as if there is nothing at stake. We go through life as if there is nothing. We just go through it and then we die, we go. That's what we think. Brothers and sisters, there is a lot at stake. Except the scientists and philosophers, there are people who don't believe in the existence of God, the atheists. They don't believe that God exists. You know one funny thing about the atheists? Most atheists I have met were people who actually were prominent Christians. Some were preachers, some were elders and deacons in their churches. And then something happened to them. Something happened to their wives. Something happened to their parents. Maybe the parent had cancer. And this man prayed to God that God, please heal my mother of this cancer. And the mother died out of cancer. So the man concluded, listen, if there is God, he would have healed my mom. If my mom was not healed after all these prayers I made to God, then I will not believe in God anymore. So we just have to believe in God. And there are so many of those out there. Some of them are our schoolmates. We go to school with them. Some of them are our friends, our colleagues at work. And sometimes they try to influence us. And this is what the atheists say about life. He says, life comes through some natural, impersonal, unintelligent, and ultimately purposeless process. A lot of adjectives just to say there is no God. That means we are also purposeless, just as the process is. Now, all that these atheists are saying is this. It's very simple. There is no supreme being hanging out there controlling everything. We were not made by any God or any person, any intelligible something hiding somewhere, an old man sitting on his throne with a white beard, controlling everything in life. No. They said, no, there's nothing like that. We came through something that we don't even understand. So we just came. And so we live a life with no purpose. We live, and that's it. That is what the atheists believe. What do you believe about life? Like I said, the way we answer the questions, where did we come from? Why are we here? Where do we go when we are done here? The way we answer these questions determine how we treat life. If you answer by saying, we have no purpose, we just come in, do our thing, make ourselves happy, do what we want to do, don't allow nobody to stress me, and we'll leave the scene, just like that. Then you just go about not caring about anything. You might not even decide to go to church because you think there is no God or we don't need God in our lives. Brothers and sisters, everybody understands life differently. And I just want to tell you a couple of the way people understand life. All right? Okay, so now, how do you understand life? How do you understand life? Some believe that life is all about working hard. Well, let me back up a little bit. Life is all about going to school, making all the A's, going through the educational ladder, go to college, of course, find a good job, have a beautiful family, working hard to make all the money in the world. So people believe that life is about making the money. So there's a wise saying, that says, time is money. Time is money. Time is money. So we don't need to waste time. Life is all about making the dough. Life is all about making the money. So let nothing stop you from making the money. This is how some people believe. This is how some people see life. Unfortunately, most of us here believe in that theory. That life is all about making the money. Just make the money. Let nothing stop you. There is this Ghanaian musician. Those of you who love Ghanaian music, I'm sure you know that Luma, right? Yes, that Luma has a lot of songs, a lot of love songs as well. Now, he sang a song about money. In that song, he said, Sika, ebi efi. Also, we can't always say Sika efi. Also, Sika efi. Na Sika efi pa, we don't want to talk about Sika efi. Because I just Sika efi. Sika efi is Sika. To me, it's Sika efi. Now, that Luma is singing. That's not like dirty money. So make money, whichever way possible, make money. as I speak to you, in our today's world, people don't care how they make money. As we are seated here, young men and women, we have so many ways of cheating the system to make money. And you that know that some of us are involved. We are trying, to get on the door. We know it is illegal. We know it's not right. And we still find ways and means to make the money. Some of us are into gambling, serious gambling problems. Serious gambling. I don't need to talk a lot about gambling. Because there are a lot of instances, there are a lot of examples that clearly tells you that run away from gambling. People have sold everything in their rooms just to gamble. In those days, if you want to stick lotto, you need to go to the kiosk. Back in Ghana, you need to go to the kiosk and then the lotto forecaster or whatever will write your numbers, and then he will give you the sheet of paper, and then you go back home and then sit by your radio just to listen to the numbers that drop. Today, lottery has been packaged, repackaged, garnished. The young men know which team is playing today. Young men, which team is playing today? Or no team is playing today? No? Nobody's playing today? Arsenal is not playing? Mine is not playing. They know. See, they say, no, they are not playing. They know who is playing today, who is not playing today. We love soccer. Our young men and women are into better, sport better. And they lose. They spend a lot of money and they lose. And they keep going because they won once and it made them feel they can win again. It is called addiction. Addiction. You do it once, you win one. You keep on losing. You win one, you keep going. But if you calculate, you realize that the amount of money you invest is less than what you get back. It is called gambling. I've not seen, they are saying there's another one. It is like an airplane. So as you put in the money, the plane keeps going up, and then something happens, goes down, then you lose the money. Which one is that? Young men, you know it. Young men and women, let's talk about it. Which one is that? Huh? Avieta. Who will you never play the course? Nothing. I tell you, you invest so much money in it, then the airplane will be in the plane will be going and then people are wasting tons of money on that sport betting. Because the young man, the young woman believes that life is all about making the money. So don't care about the process. The end will justify the means. It is all about getting the money. Is that what you think? Well, some believe that life is about getting yourself out, pleasure. So let's go party this place, let's go party that place, let's entertain ourselves. So the young Christian youth is out there partying, having some drinks, and then having some crazy dance with friends out there, because they feel that is all life is about. And when you decide to talk to them, they'll tell you, you know what? We only live once. Leave us to enjoy. They have a saying for that, YOLO or YOLO, whatever it is. You only live once, so let us enjoy. Huh? Now, only Papa like again. Only living, Papa said about one. That's it. People believe that life is all about having fun, going to the next one. So the gentleman, the lady is looking for the next part to go. Is that what you think about life? Having fun, being all happy all the time? Well, like I mentioned earlier on, some people believe that life is about going to school, going to college, having all the degrees, and that will make you happy. Is that what you think life is about? Well, I've seen people who went to school, have all the degrees, and just when they finish their course and they have their certificate, they die. They ask themselves, what is what is the point? Now, I'm not saying don't go to school. I'm saying go to school. But the question is that the main point about this life? Is that why we are here? Just go to school, get all the degrees, and no, that's the point. That's the point. That is how some believe life is all about. Alright, that's like the wise man, Solomon, did a great research into what we are talking about. And I want to present his thesis to you this morning. Solomon did a great deal of research into why we are here and what really makes us happy as people and what really we need to be doing. Now, if you decide to travel to a place you don't actually know, and then you meet somebody coming from that place, what do? You are going to a place you don't know, and you see somebody coming from the same place. As a wise person, what do you have to do? What do you do? Yeah. Who go there? Maybe I won't come in more order. You know, you tell me so be free, so only power you answer me, and then I just away. Yeah. It's been for say, will be for a one year. Now, we are lucky. I'm not going to use that. We are blessed. That's the proper word. We are blessed to have the Word of God, the Bible, because it is filled with wisdom that guides the way of man. And I'm happy I'm speaking to young men and women. Comparatively, I'm a young man myself. I know old people who wish time will go anti-clockwise and then they will be young again. So that the mistakes they made, they can correct them. Now we are young. So this is an opportunity. The information I'm giving you this morning, it's an opportunity for us to relook at how we see life. To relook at how we perceive life. So from now on, we might be able to manage ourselves in a way that will benefit us and then to the glory of God. Now, this is the research that Solomon did. When I would encourage you, if you can study the book of Ecclesiastes, I would encourage you. The New York Church here, we have gone through the book of Ecclesiastes, and my brothers and sisters would agree with me that we learned a lot. We are studying the book of Proverbs now, and we have learned a lot more. Now, the whole book of Ecclesiastes was a research that Solomon did about life under the sun. The life that we go through here under the sun. He tried to find out what we can do with the little time that we have to live here. So let me present for you some of his findings. In the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter number 2, verse number 1 to 11, this is what Solomon said. I said to myself, have fun, and enjoy yourself. That's what Solomon said. He was looking for that thing that would make him fulfilled in life. He was looking for that thing that would make him happy in life. Probably you are seeking for that also. Everybody want to be happy. So Solomon said, I will try making myself happy. So he said, I said to myself, have fun and enjoy yourself. But this didn't make sense. Solomon said he had all the fun in the world. All the things you are doing now, he didn't know that he did. He did it all. He has seen it all. All the crazy places you've been going. Solomon said he went to crazy places that you are going now. But he said at the end of the day, he realized that it did not make any sense. It rather brought agony, anguish, pain. It did not bring joy. It did not bring joy. So he went through making himself happy and enjoying life. It didn't make sense. 2, laughing and having fun is crazy. What good does it do? What good does it do? What good does laughing? What good does it do? In the book of Ecclesiastes, Solomon encouraged and exhorted that if it is possible, choose to go to a place where people are mourning the dead than to go to a place that people are all happy and all dancing and all of that. You know why? Because he says this. If you go to a place where the dead is being mourned, they will tell you something that will remind you of your purpose on this earth. So you can change your life. But when you go to places where people are just having fun, dancing, enjoying life, you might even forget about yourself. Someone said he had all the fun, but that didn't make any sense. You think having fun will make you a happy person? It will not. It will not. Going to all the parties, having all the drinks, getting drunk and all of that, you think that's going to make you happy? No, it's not. It's really going to make you sad. Now, he wanted to say this. I wanted to find out what was best for us during the short time we have on this earth. Someone said, I was investigating. I wanted to know what really I need to do with the period that we have here. So Solomon acknowledged that life on earth will not be forever. Life on earth will end someday. So he was investigating what he can do with the little time that he has to live on earth. What did he find? So I decided to make myself happy with wine. It is Solomon, not what really because no himself, that will make him a happy person. My young men and women, I know some of you have been drinking. I know, especially in this part of our world. When we go to parties with our friends, we try to do a little bit of drinking. I know. I also know that sometimes when life seems, it seems so awkward. If things are happening in our life that we are not so happy about, we resort to some alcoholism. I know that also. But you are not the first to do that. Solomon did it also. He went into alcoholism. He thought that having all the wine, in fact, with Solomon, the wine was not bought from the supermarket. He had the grapes. He had a wine press. The wine was brewed in his own house, in his own farm. So he had all the best of wines. He could drink it anytime he wanted to drink it. He thought that was going to make him happy. But he said this. That did not make him happy also. Are you just about to start drinking? Just to think that is going to help solve your problem? No, it's not going to solve the problem. Let me tell you something crazy about alcoholism. Those of you who have drunk before, who have been alcoholic before, you know that when something bad happens and you are not happy and then you start drinking, then you get high. Then you begin to say things you're not supposed to say. No filter. You say things. I say, Papa Mia, or Fernan say, Nancy, so I am maybe the minimum. Because it would be a big natural. Because we could be never this one. If you are drunk, you cannot stop yourself from saying or doing certain things. Now, if we are doing an exercise here right now, we need to run. So I don't want to say, over Cassie. Dear, and some a black woman said, I dear only and some only here, who we are not going to pass away. When you are drunk, you pick up your phone and reconnect with all your positive friends. You will not go block, and no person will be saying that you unblock them. Because you are drunk. You unblock them, you start reconnecting with all the positive people you didn't want to connect with. Because you are drunk. After when it's over, when I say, hey, it's a new parliament. When you drink with the idea said, it will take your trouble away. Yes, in that moment, it will make you feel too happy, over happy. Say all the things you want to say. But, and celebrate with this one. Say, the problem will still be there. So wine is not the solution. Solomon did it. He drank with idea that is to make him happy. But he said, no, that does not make me happy. So I decided to make myself happy with wine and to find out what it means to be foolish. without really being foolish myself. So he tried to experiment. He was trying to experiment to see what really that is. In verse 4 it says, I did some great stuff, great things. I know my young men and women, we are very ambitious. We have big plans. We have big dreams. It is not a bad thing to have dreams. Solomon also had dreams. Actually, his dreams were materialized. They came to fruition. Verse 4 saying that I did some great things. I built houses. He did not just build a small house. He built houses, mansions. So if you are thinking about making enough money to build a house, you are not the first. Someone built houses. He built houses. I built houses and planted vineyards. I have flower gardens and orchards full of fruit trees. Solomon had it all. Verse 6. He says, and I have pools where I could get water for the trees. Solomon was so wise. So he knew there will be a time, there will be a season where there is not going to be no rain. So he had an irrigation system. He had some pool where he drew water from to water his crops, his trees, so they will always flourish. Verse number 7, he says this, I own slaves. Solomon had a lot of slaves, people who served him. Solomon would just call and they would just be running. He was a rich man. He was a rich man. He had it all. He had it all. He had slaves, not just slaves. And their sons and daughters became my slaves. So the slaves in Solomon's house were too many that at a point, some of the slaves would get pregnant. And then they would give birth. And the sons and daughters of these slaves will also become slaves to Solomon. He was a great man. He had it all. He had it all. I had more sheep and goats than anyone who had ever lived in Jerusalem. Now, in those days, if you have livestock, if you have sheep, if you have goats, you are a big man. And he's saying that I had it all. Comparing myself to all those kings who came after me. Comparing myself to all those rich people in Jerusalem, I was the greatest. I had it all. Verse 8. Foreign rulers brought me silver and gold and precious treasures. Men and women sang for me, and I have many wives who gave me great pleasure. Solomon said, I was not just enjoying my money, but then I was enjoying the money that people brought for me from all walks of life. Kings and queens and great men traveled long distances just to come and serve me and to give me money. I had money. If you're a young man and all you think about is making money, someone says, I had a lot of money, but that did not make me happy. Now, this is not to say don't make money, but this is to say, as you make money, think about it. Do not allow your past to be rich. Deprive your soul of its eternal destination. Don't. A lot of us don't go to church. We don't have time for church. Every time we are busy doing something, making money, going here, coming there, all in the name of making money. We hardly have time for church. Someone says that, well, I had all the money in the world. I thought that was going to make me happy. But it did not. It did not. So if you're just about starting making money and all you're thinking about is all the money, chasing every money that you see. Solomon had all the money. But that did not make him a happy person. I like the leave out. He said that men and women sang for me. You know, in the days of Solomon was not playing a cassette or a CD or from YouTube. There was no YouTube in Solomon's days. So if Solomon wanted to listen to a song, he invited a choir to come before him and sing for him. He invited a live band. That is how Solomon enjoyed music. So let's have an image in your mind's eye. Solomon sitting on his throne with a choir in front of him, singing for the great king, Solomon. He had it all. He had it all. But that did not make him a happy person. He said that I have many wives who gave me great pleasure. Many wives. Many wives. You have a wife, but you think you need a second one. Well, someone had enough. Maybe, but he says that also did not make any sense. In our world today, people think when I'm married, I'll be happy, I'll be happy. Sorry to disappoint you. Go and ask those who are already married. Many of them are dying in their marriages. Well, let me tell you this. I would rather encourage you to remain single and happier than to be married and sad. Not every marriage is toxic, as the truth. Not every marriage is toxic. But just like we listened to our preachers yesterday, if you are so much in a rush in today's world, the young man meets the young lady at the train station. They smile at each other. Then the bus comes, or the train comes, they jump on the train. They smile at each other again. Hi, hello, how are you? And before they get out of the train, they will exchange some numbers. And then they take it from there. Not long after that day, they would confess to each other how much they love each other. And then in today's world, we have young men and women have a lot of things to say. Like, when I saw you, something fell on me. And then fell on you. And your man and say, the young man will have also. The woman will be also. Just like when you go when you want to give, I was a woman. Hey, babu. Was a woman. Men will say this. Men will say this. And women have to listen. Women have to listen. And Ghana, if somebody's going to try to, win the heart of a woman, they have a way of saying it. They say, they call you a bad lie, right? They call you a bad lie. You know what I mean? We go down and branch of bad. And unfortunately, the lady will listen. Sometimes the lady knows the guy is lying. By the way the guy is saying that, because I know the problem with him. And someone will say, but International Airport is for my father. Hey, what I want to say is that in days past, in times past, when you want to go into marriage, the preparation that takes place before the marriage was really good and was helpful. Today, young men and women don't want that preparation. Here in the United States, even in Connecticut, you don't need a witness. If it's just you and the lady, you just go in there to the clerk and then you sign. Marriage certificate. You saw what I want to say. They give you your marriage certificate and you come back home married. You don't need any witness. Things are changing. Solomon says, I had enough wives. I had enough women in my life, but that did not make me happy. So if you think getting married, being in some relationship, some unholy relationship will make you a happy person, I'm telling you, that will make you a poor person and a sad person. Relationships are expensive, and I'm Ramadan. Isn't it expensive? It's very expensive. Very expensive. I have something on social media. So, the guy says that now in Ghana, when you propose to a lady and tell the lady, oh, I want to be with you, the lady says, okay, you're too nervous. That same day, that very evening, the lady will call you. Brother Kofi, where the person will pass the other hand. And you will I'm in it. So they will bring all their house problems for you to solve. Because you propose to them and they accept them. They will bring all their home challenges for you to solve. And that is how much expensive relationships are. They do not make you happy. They bring you responsibility. Solomon said, I had many wives because I thought that would make me happy. Solomon had one, he said he wanted to be happy. 2 weeks, he said he wanted 3. That did not make him happy. However, one time, hello, I never say, I never say, and I didn't end the public, oh, hey, I was here, I should tell you something. This is not to discourage you to go into marriage. Please, if you find a good person that you can actually work together with, please get married. It's not always going to be, bread and butter, rosy, things like that. It might be difficult, rocky sometimes, but please, let's prepare well. That's like we had yesterday. Let's prepare well. Let's get to know the people well. Let's get to know the people. Let us not try to get ourselves involved in anything that will make God know so much happen with us. But someone said, I had many women in my life. I had many wives. I thought that was going to make me happy. But that did not make me happy. If you have a boyfriend, it's going to make you happy. If you have a husband, it's going to make you happy. It is a responsibility. And let me tell you this. Marriage is not for the faint-hearted. Marriage is not for boys and girls. Marriage is for men and women. If you are not ready, remain single and serve the Lord. If you are not, don't venture. Because it's for men and women. I'm not scaring you, please. I'm telling you the truth. Solomon thought how many wives will make him a happy person. And did not. So you are thinking of getting married, you are in a rush. And the lady you are about to marry, the guy you are about to marry, your daddy sat you down. My son, you know I love you. I know you want to marry this lady. And it is a great thing. But this is what I saw the last time you brought her. This is what I saw. This is how I evaluated. I'm your dad. I have seen a lot of things. I have a lot of experience. The guy said, oh, daddy. No. I'm a dog. Don't be take for me. I'm going to live with her myself. Now you. And then will say, okay, what can I do? Then they'll get married. And then, one day the dad will be in the house and I'm going to come and walk a set. And I'm going to go, Papa, who won you? I said, I can't mention you. So I had a question yesterday that, when I'm going to marry and my mother or father says no, what do I do? Please, when your mother or your daddy says no, listen to why they are saying no. Listen, reason with them. Try to understand where they are coming from. Sometimes, like one beautiful lady said, he's my soulmate. I don't know the one who invented that phrase. Soulmate. Soulmate. Soulmate, Akasa. He's the love of my life. And someone gets here. But therefore, marriage or a relationship, it's not just the place that will make you all happy. It's a responsibility. If you're not ready for it, stop. Solomon said, I thought getting married and having all the wives, all these women in my life will make me a happy person. But no, I was rather sad. So, if you are thinking of getting married, having a wife, just know it's a task. It's a responsibility. It's expensive. If you're not ready, please be single and serve the Lord. 9. I was the most famous person who had ever lived in Jerusalem, and I was very wise. Today, young men and women, the year or the era of social media. Everybody is on one social media platform or the other. If it's not on Facebook, it's on Instagram or TikTok or Snapchat or it's a Twitter. And let me tell you the funny thing about social media. So you go post something, and the idea is people must watch it. Now sometimes people don't watch it, but people watch something. So you always have to come back to see the number of people who are watching. And then you compare yourself to other people who have also posted things, who are getting a lot more views. And that can be so depressing. Social media can depress you. But let me tell you this. People live a lot of fake lives on social media. Sometimes you just sit in your room, you pick your phone, you keep scrolling, and you are jealous about somebody on social media. Oh, these people are making it here. They are not making it anywhere. People are faking their lives on social media. Don't let that pressure get you. Don't. Most of the views you see on social media, people buy views. People buy time so their things can be viewed. Of course, people like to look at things that are not good, like foolish things, bad things. You know, when you put bad things there on social media, a lot of people come and look. But people try to buy views, so you see them. Oh, people are watching his video, and then you go check yourself like, oh, nobody's liking my video. The pressure alone, it is unnecessary. People want to be famous by all means. They want to be famous. They want everybody to know them. So they'll try everything possible to make themselves famous. My young ladies, most of you have been posting your pictures on social media. Question: what kind of picture are you posting on social media? Question: what is your objective? Why are you posting that picture? Are you doing an advertisement? Are you trying to tell the men that I am here? I'm saying, please come. The truth of the matter is that when you post a picture with you, well dressed, people don't like it. But when you try to expose certain part of your body, they love it, they enjoy it. And it gets into your head. And you keep posting such things with the idea that people will come and look at them. There was none famous than Solomon. He was the most famous person. But he said, fame is vain. When you are dead and gone, people forget about it. So be careful how or what you do to make yourself famous. I want people to know me. I want people to know me. I want to do it. I want to do that. I want to do it. Getting fame. You see, getting the fame might not be too difficult, but maintaining the fame is difficult. You need to keep appearances. You need to wear things that you cannot afford. You need to be at places you cannot pay for. But you need to be because you want to keep the faith. Young men and women, brothers and sisters, Solomon was very famous than anybody who had ever lived in Jerusalem. 10. I bought whatever I wanted and did whatever made me happy. So Solomon said, whatever I wanted, I had it. Anything that made people happy, I had it. I had it all. But most of all, I enjoyed my work. Verse 11. Then I thought about everything I had done. When Solomon did all of these, he sat down and observed all the things he had done. The wealth he had accumulated, the wives he had, all the money and all the mansions and all the properties that he had. He sat down and observe them, including the hard work. And it was simply chasing the wind. Nothing on earth is worth the trouble. At the same time, now that's what sermon from. Is that possible? That is how life is. If all you think about is making money, at the detriment of your salvation, it is just like you are trying to catch the wind. If all you think about is going to the wild parties, having fun, drinking all the alcohol, trying to make yourself happy, if all that you think about is that, at the detriment of your salvation, it's just like running, trying to catch the wind. Someone said nothing on earth is worth the trouble. Don't compare yourself to people. Don't stress yourself with what people are doing that you cannot do. People are famous, you're not famous. People have the money, you don't have the money. People have this, you don't have this. So you begin to think about it, begin to stress you, give you headache. Someone said, no, nothing on earth is worth the trouble. Brothers and sisters. Now, what can we do then? If that is the case, in fact, in Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse number 18, someone said, one thing that makes him really sad is that with all the wealth he had accumulated, one day he would have to die for someone who comes after him to manage him. This is the life we live in. A crazy world, right? A crazy world. Someone said, it is not worth it. It is not worth it. If all you think about is making money, having a wife, having a girlfriend, having a job, going to school, being happy, having a beautiful family, if that is all you think about, then you are missing something. You are missing something. Because at the end of the day, Solomon concluded his thesis by saying this to the young person, to the young man, to the young woman. Now, why was Solomon targeting the young people? Because he knows with the old people, their life is almost done. But with the young ones like us, we have many years ahead of us, all things being equal. We have many years ahead of us. So if there's any correction to make, we will be able to make it. So he advised the young people concerning life. And this is what he said. Remember now your Creator. Or remember your Creator now. Don't wait for tomorrow. In everything you do, in your quest to make money, remember your Creator. In your quest to have a spouse, remember your Creator. Whatever you do not leave God out of it. So if it's something that God will not approve of, please avoid it. Or say, the word remember. Now, when will somebody tell you to remember something? When the person knows that you can easily forget, he will tell you, please remember to call me. Remember to call me. Because they know that you might forget. Life is very stressful. We are presented each day with a lot of things that we can do for ourselves so that we can be happy. So the Bible is saying, Solomon is saying, he has seen it all. But one thing that he can assure the youth is that if you choose not to remember your Creator whilst you still have life, you wouldn't like it at the end. So he says, remember now your Creator. You see, we did not create ourselves. God created us. Now he created us for a purpose, for his own will. God created us for a reason. Any inventor will not just sit and create something without no purpose. If an inventor will create an appliance, he will create it to solve a problem. In fact, what happens is that In most cases, there is a problem, so they investigate to see what they can do to solve the problem. So they actually invent an appliance, a tool to solve the existing problem. God made us for his own purpose. Brothers and sisters, you don't belong to yourself, you belong to God. We are only stewards of ourselves, and we manage ourselves for God. So remember now your Creator. Remember him now. Don't forget about him. If you truly want to be happy in this life and the life after this one, remember your Creator. Now, what would it mean to remember my Creator? One, remember the sacrifice God made. God sent his beloved Son to die for our sins. And that is why we are saying that he has Christians. Remember that sacrifice. Two, remember the instructions he has given us. Remember the instructions God has given us. When you read the book of Proverbs, you realize that everything about life and godliness has its own instructions in the Bible. So remember the instructions he has given us. Three, remember the day of judgment. So remember the sacrifice God made for us. Remember the instructions he has given us, or he's given us. Remember the day of judgment. If you remember these things as you go through life, it will help you to develop a fear for the Lord. It will help you to do the right things so you don't fall into a trap. Life is like walking on a minefield. If you know a minefield, there is always an explosive barrage on the minefield. So you need to be careful where you place your next foot. The Word of God is our map, our compass. God has given us his Word so that we will be able to walk through this minefield and not step on any explosive. Many of us have fallen into so many temptations, fell into so many problems because we did not apply the wisdom of God. We did it our own way. We thought we could do it. We tried to make ourselves happy. Someone said those things will not actually give you the happiness you need. It will give you an immediate gratification. That's it. But in the long run, it will come back and bite you. If you truly want to be happy, remember God. Remember his sacrifice. Remember his instructions. Remember the day of judgment, which is imminent. It's about to happen. We don't know when, but it can be tonight. It can be midnight. It can be tomorrow. It can be a day after tomorrow. I don't know when. You don't know when. But God says his Son Jesus Christ is coming back again, and he's going to judge each and every one of us according to the things we did. Are you ready for that day? If we keep that in mind, if we remember our Creator, if we remember the sacrifice, if we remember the instructions, if we remember the judgments, then God will save our souls. Then we will truly be happy here on earth and the life after this one. Brothers and sisters, you see, he says, remember now your Creator in the days of your youth. In the days of your youth, the youthful days are the most important. It is the pivot of your life. Let me tell you this. If you get your youthful days wrong, if you miss that exit, am I wrong? If you miss the exit, so my young men and women, you are on a crossroad. Please make the right decisions. Go with God. Allow God to lead you. Because if you miss that exit, if you make all the wrong choices, they will come back to hit you when you are older. And then you will say, oh my God, I have wasted my time. But at a time, you cannot turn back the hand of time. So the only thing that you'll be going through through is pain, agony. You just be crying because you wish you can go back in time and fix certain things. Young men and women, we are back in time. We are here. The future is ahead. Let us make the right decisions. Let us remember the man who made us. Let us do it today. Because there is no tomorrow. Tomorrow is never assured anyone. Today, that's what we got. That's what we have. Today we have life. Today we can walk to church. Today we can run. Today we are making money. So let me tell you this. Remembering our Creator means we need to invest our time. We need to invest our energy. We need to invest our money in the estate of God. You know the very interesting thing? My young men and women, those of you who are working, most of you make more money than even your parents. But when the church needs money, you think you are too young to give. Young men and women, this is the time. Remember now, your Creator. Now, it means investing in the church. You are not too old to serve. Mary was a teenager when God wanted Jesus to be born through her. Mary was a young lady, a teenager. But God chose her. Timothy was a young person when he decided to follow Paul and preach the gospel of Christ. He was just a young man. David, he was a young man. When God through him defeated the giant Goliath. You are this young man. You are not too young to support the church, to invest in the church. You are not too young to evangelize. You are not too young to edify people. You are not too young. When it comes to worshiping God and serving God, there's nothing like, it is too early to do it. I'm too young to do it. You can do it. So do it. In the book of 1 Corinthians, the Bible says that young people, you need to live a life without care. Don't complicate your lives with unnecessary things, but rather invest your time worshiping God. What that means is that because we are young people, we should come to church earlier than even the older people. People don't have much to think about, like the older people have. But what do you see? We rather get the opposite. Remember now your Creator while you still have life, while you are still young. Why? Because there is an evil day coming. There is a day coming that you cannot do anything. You cannot run. You cannot sing. You cannot see. You'll be putting on glasses. You have to walk with a stick. There's a day coming. There's a day coming that you cannot eat what you want to eat. Where are my doctors? The doctors here. Where are you? When you are growing old, the doctors begin to tell you, oh, don't eat sugar, don't eat salt. If you don't eat sugar and salt, then how you go? They'll tell you not to eat meat. At that point, you have made enough money to buy all the meat, but you cannot eat meat. So what happens to your money? Other people will spend the money for you. That is life. Today is the time, is the day. Invest in the estate of God. Watch after your own salvation. If all you think about is making money, if all you think about is being happy with wine, going for parties and all of that, without proper focus on God, then you are missing it. In as much as we try to go about life and make our life useful, like going to school, like getting a job, like having a family, it is a good thing. But don't forget about God. Let God be in the center of everything you do. Remember the Creator in the days of your youth. Don't miss the exit. Don't miss the exit. Well, I'm sure those of you who know what happens if you miss an exit. I told my brothers and sisters here in New York that I drove one time in my early days of driving, I drove one time to Manhattan and wanted to come back. Now, as I was trying to come back, I got to a point, and I was in social, so I missed the exit. I made trouble. Now, what happened was, because I missed the exit, it took me to New Jersey. The house in New York. And I'm sure some of you know that route. I missed that exit. And it took me to New Jersey because I wanted to turn around and reroute and all that. But I needed to reroute to New Jersey and come back, and you know what happened to me? I had to pick up my kid from school that day. So, time. Again, I wasted fuel, gas in my car. So money wasted. So time wasted, money wasted. The car, because it is running more, the miles is still going up. So maintenance is affecting another money. What I'm saying is that because I missed that exit, I paid a price for it. My brothers and sisters, we are on a crossroad in our lives. If we decide not to remember God now, but make all the decisions that we want to do in our best to be happy, if we don't think about God by investing in His business, if we don't think about God by coming to church, coming for church meetings, our time, giving God our time, if we don't give God our energy, if we don't ask God to help us, to direct our path in every decision we make, we are at the crossroad. We might make a mistake. We need God. The only way we can be fulfilled in this life is when we allow God to direct our path. That is the only way. Go out there, make all the marriage, go do all the parties. It will not make you completely happy. You will receive the immediate gratification. But think about the long run. There is an evil day coming. There is a day coming that you'll be too old that somebody needs to change your diaper. Somebody needs to clean you up. You have beautiful dresses, my young ladies. Beautiful dresses. But you still feel like buying more. Sometimes you just go on your phone, you see a new dress, it costs a lot of money. You're like, this is a new dress, this is a fine dress. And you just order it. You don't need it anyway. Some of you have dresses that still have the parts in them. You've never worn that dress. And it's possible you might never wear it. Some people just be old. I don't even feel like this anymore. Wasted money. But our churches need money. Why do our churches need money? They need money to evangelize, to bring people to Christ. But we waste money on things we don't even need. Gentlemen, the sneaker is nice. There's a Jordan. How much does it cost? We try to make money and buy that Jordan. I'm not saying go buy a Jordan. What I'm saying is that in as much as we try to buy all those expensive things, have we thought about God's business? Have we thought about God's business? When we go into our rooms, we have a lot of things that we do not use, but we bought them with money. Shoes, especially our ladies, bags. What are some of the brand names for the bags? Ladies. DMG. Dolce & Gabbana. Besides, Gucci. See? And it will surprise you that when you go to a young lady's room, they have all the brands. All the brands. And will arrange it. The shoes will keep on going, right? Shoes. You don't use nowhere. And some of them are very expensive. But there are people who go to Africa, go to Asia. There are people who are hungry. And those people, God has told us as a church to feed them. But we cannot feed them. You know why? Because we don't have the money. Young people, what do you use our money for? Think about it. Let us remember now our Creator vows we are still young. Because there's a day coming that all the monies that we are collecting, all the shoes, all the bags, all the things, who will just be there? We cannot use them because we are too old, we have a stroke, we cannot see. Other people will just use the things we accumulated. This is life. People just use the things. You just be sitting there. Even if you don't want to use those to you because you cannot do anything. That's life. We are on a crossroad. This is how Solomon concluded his thesis. Solomon says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Conclusion of the whole here? Where did I come from? Where do I go after here? Solomon said, this is the conclusion of the whole matter. Assembly now said, one, fear God. Before you do anything, thank God first. Thank God. Thank God. What will God do in this situation? What will God want me to do in this situation? God first. Thank God. Fear God. When you fear God, when the church is leading, you will make time and meet with the church. When you fear God, when the church is giving, you will give according to your earnings. When you fear God, when the church is going into some business and you support, you will support it in the way you can. When you fear God in your personal life, when nobody's watching you, you will try to still do the honorable things. Fear God. Not just that, He added us. And keep His commandments. Fear God and keep the things He has instructed us. Why? For this is man's all. Then He added us in verse 13. For God will bring every work into judgment, including every secret thing, whether good or evil. My brothers and sisters, we are young people. Well, I'm a young man too. We are young people. We still have time. It is not over yet. We can still change certain things. We can still give hope to the Lord's church. We can begin to look responsible, useful to ourselves, to the church, and to the community. How do we do this? By remembering God. By putting God in the equation. By allowing God to direct our path. That is the only way we can do this. God made us. And if it is He who made us, then definitely He has a purpose for our lives. God has a purpose for you. God knows your name. He knows you by your name. Even when you are little in your mother's womb, God still knew you. So He knows this. And He has a purpose for everybody. But you can only realize your purpose if you remain in the path He has designed for you. If you acknowledge Him in everything you do, God will make your path straight. We may be presented with several choices in life, but if we remember our Creator, God will direct our path. It is not wrong to make money. It is not wrong to work hard to make money. It is not wrong to find a job. It is not wrong to marry a lady or marry a man. It is not wrong to get married. It is not wrong to have a beautiful family. It is not wrong. But in your quest, as you try to do all of these things, do not leave God out of the equation. Do not put God aside. Remember Him all the time. Let Him teach you what to do. Let Him direct your path. That is the only way you can be fulfilled in life. Life without a proper focus on God is just vain. Do whatever you want to do. How about the fun? How about the money? How about the wives? How about the girlfriends? How about the boyfriends? That will not make you eternally happy. The only way that we can be happy in Jesus is to trust and obey. Is to serve Him. Is to worship Him. Is to sit at His feet all the time. Is to invest our time, our resources, our energy in God's business. Is to allow God to direct our path in everything that we do, every decision that we make. If you are here today and you have not been baptized, I would encourage you to get baptized. Believe in Jesus as the Son of God, and we will help you to be baptized today. When I'm out of this pulpit and the song that comes singing, you read us in the song. If you want to give yourself to the Lord through baptism, if you want to build a relationship with God from now on, you can do it today. We can help you do it. But to the rest of us who have already begun the journey with God, remember the Creator whilst there is still time. Because there's a day coming when we will say, I wish I can go back in time. I wish I can correct a lot of things. Solomon has given us all indicators. Let us not just make the mistakes. Let's take the things he has given us. Let's portion ourselves so that our journey as Christians will be smooth. May the Lord bless us all. May the Lord give us understanding. May the Lord help us to acknowledge Him every day in our lives so that we can be fulfilled as a people. God bless us all. Amen.
Amen.
Our God is an awesome God.
Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power. Our God is an awesome God. Now when he rolled up his sleeves, he wasn't putting on the Ritz.
Our God is an awesome God.
There's thunder in his footsteps, and lightning in his fist.
Our God